Sam, I don't want you to feel like you're a part of something that's too big for you. I don't want you to bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Um, Sam, we're on the board. I need a little background. What's the shit that Vaughn always says? All the CEO sayings.
Um, kill two birds with feed two birds with one stone. We got a synergy. We need to tackle this head on.
Need to tackle this head on. That really fucked us up not having Andrew there. I mean, really threw us for a curveball this meeting.
Yeah. Really, one thing you got to have with lasagna is respect for it.
Sam, what's your take on adding additional non-traditional vegetables to a lasagna? We just received one from Jill, and her lasagna includes squash, both yellow and green, normal zucchini, and onions as well. What do you think about that?
For me, I'm a traditionalist. I'm just going to straight up say it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And to me, I feel like too often these days, you know, uh, food is treated with, and I don't want to, I'm hesitant to say the word disrespect, but you got to let it, when you start adding that kind of stuff, it kind of, to me, takes away from what the dish really is.
Mm,
So I don't like it.
good question. So Blake poses an interesting question. What's your take on Mexican lasagna? And I'm unfamiliar. I'm really what what
To me, I wouldn't call it lasagna. I would say a Mexican casserole. Okay, I think there's an important distinction too often, and this is one of the campaign points that I've really been. This is a platform point here. Um, one of my goals as part of this organization is to come up with a black and white distinction between a lasagna and a casserole. Okay, I don't think it's fair to either dish to classify them in the same category. I know that can be kind of, controversial, but we shouldn't be backing away from these kind of things. That's my point.
well
Yeah,
said.
yeah. What I that's my that's where I'm standing on. That's my platform.
I'm a faggot.
What we need to have let me ask you this. Another important community member that I feel like could really that we need their voice in this matter is Daniel, our good friend Daniel.
So the thing I'll say about that is Daniel, I don't know the last time he's eaten a lasagna. He's my buddy, but I think subject matter wise, he would not be a good go-to for this. Um, would he be a good talking head for the organization? Probably.
But we're really trying to surround ourselves with experts.
We're trying to surround ourselves with it.
I think that's fair.
In an Italian restaurant, he's a fucking expert.
Rachel, she's Italian.
Wow.
She probably knows a couple things.
So I'm just going to do a little digging here on the Wikipedia. Once Andrew joins us, we can bring him back. I'm just going to pull up the old wiki page of lasagna here. Wow. Now, Sam, I know you're no historian, but if you had to throw a little estimate out there about when the first lasagna was made, just quick trivia as we bring Andrew on. When would you say the first lasagna was made? What year?
Well, I would say, symbolically that, I would say right during the Roman times, especially during the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Because if you think about it, right, what is lasagna? Lasagna is, we mentioned it before, the savior, right? It's an amalgamation that can save lives and save our souls. So my estimation would be about 2024 years old.
Yeah. Wikipedia's got to be wrong. Anyways, Andrew, welcome back. You were rudely interrupted. There's a monopoly on our internet providers here in Durango, Colorado. However, bringing it back, you are renowned countywide for your insight, your ability to discern and interact with different meat to sauce ratios. Talk a little bit about your background. Talk a little bit about why you're an expert.
Yeah, so to basically jump back in where I was at earlier, it's kind of it's a spectrum, and it varies depending on where you're at. Some areas of the country are very saucy, others are very noodly and very starchy. But that's what makes America America. And quite frankly, my preference, I prefer about a 6.5 to 4.5 sauce to noodle ratio. However, I like my sauce to meat ratio to meat 5 to 5 ratio. So, 1-to-1 ratio. And
now is that, and I don't mean to interrupt you, sir. Is that by volume or is that by weight?
It's really kind of it's up to you. It's volume and weight don't mean a thing in the realm of pasta. It's about what it is physically in front of you.
And that's why we're here. If we can take one thing away, it's right there.
Okay. The volume or the weight?
Volume and weight don't mean a thing when you're talking about pasta.
Yeah, so which one's got to go?
Nothing's got to go. I don't think we got to solve this here. Sam, I know you've been waiting long and hard to introduce Andrew's position on the board.
Yeah.
Present him with his title.
Yeah. So, Andrew, this being the inaugural meeting for tonight for the Durango Lasagna Coalition.
I think this would be a good handshake because it's the shape of a lasagna.
This is excellent. So you are the creative director. You are the creative director of the Durango Lasagna Coalition. The CD of the DCL. DC of the LDC.
LDC. We're
Durango.
LDC.
You're the creative director. So you're the DC of the DLC. The DC of the DLC.
I love DLC, dude. That sounds like it could be a channel on TV.
DLC.
And Sam, your title?
I am the well, Jared, I appreciate the bringing me on board. And I think we're still kind of workshopping the title. But I would say that the my title, if it may be, the chief accoutrement director.
That sounds absolutely
Charcuterie?
phenomenal. Sounds absolutely phenomenal. I think as we progress through the organization, we're going to have to take a lot of our ideas that seem to us fundamental back to the drawing board, back to the blackboard. However, I think that's a good start.
I'm sorry, but what's a Lacutra?
Akutra here. Let me share the screen here, Andrew. We're gonna get back to our Excel file. We started, and your input is invaluable here. We started rating lasagnas in our community from different providers. If you have any additional names on the left-hand column, let me know and I can put them. So I'm actually going to copy and paste meat to sauce ratio over here, and this is going to change to a general rating. So I think that's where we were going.
Yeah.
If I may interject here for a brief moment, I might have a lasagna expert to come in and join as we figure out this rating, and I just want to prep you all for that if that's
absolutely okay. Yeah. Andrew, just to give you a little bit of background knowledge, these are some of the things that we thought made Durango lasagna. So of course we have the general rating. Is ricotta included? Is, what kind of meat are we using? Accoutrement are the additional elements.
Okay.
Whether or not they're garlic bread brownies, salad. I got Girl Scout cookies with Jenny, Jenny. So I'll put that in there.
Oh, boys, I gotta sign up right now so I can add to the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Happy to have Rachel on here. Rachel is a prolific member of our community. Welcome, Rachel. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a landing pad here. Rachel, could you talk a little bit about why you're a qualified lasagna expert? What kind of background gives you the right to come in here and speak with the board?
I'm Italian. Hey, is that enough?
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't
I'm
hurt.
Italian. I'm from Philadelphia. I eat some pretty good lasagna.
So let's explore that a little bit. What makes a good lasagna in your eyes, and how does that translate to the Durango community lasagna?
Love. Homemade pasta.
Okay. Now, this begs the question, or the statement. I don't believe that any of our participants here, I don't believe any of our participants here, whether it's Libby or Kay or Jenny, I wouldn't say any of their pasta is homemade. Gentlemen, would you?
I don't think it's a fair criteria just because in our culture, it's not really a thing that we do, is make noodles. I mean,
yeah.
Not anymore. Times have changed.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, Sam. I think it's a whole different discussion when it comes to homemade pasta.
I agree. And I think right there, it's not just lasagna, it's love, right? And I think part of that love is that self-love. And these people are slaving away, bringing these delicious, creations to the good people of Durango. And I think they owe it to themselves to use the most,
They owe it to themselves to work harder.
no, they owe it to themselves to use quality products that are effective for their time.
Yeah, they have like a mission, so it can't always be homemade. They're trying to get the lasagna out to, the people in mass
Exactly.
quantities.
That's
So
the love. That's
they're
the
so
love,
lovely.
right?
So I just want to bring our attention back to the spreadsheet. Are there any additional criteria that the panel feels we need to include?
I think
Can we have a noodle to sauce ratio?
yeah, how many layers?
This is why we brought you on board.
I think layers is important.
And so should we title that layers or noodle to sauce ratio?
I was thinking just noodle to sauce
I
ratio.
think we'd be specific.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Because yeah, you can have like a 4-layer or a 5-layer or a 6-layer. It's all about the love that's packed in between those layers.
Great. So we're gonna all do a little bit of homework. I'm gonna assign some things. Andrew, of course, as our creative director, meat to sauce ratio, noodle to sauce ratio. That will be yours. Director of Accoutre, Sam. Meat choice, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of homework. And then Rachel, if you could coordinate with Sam offline about if there was ricotta included. I might reach out with some meat choice questions, as it's been a while since I've tasted some of these women. And we can go from there.
Sounds good, dude. Also,
actually,
I was thinking maybe too a logo for the committee.
A logo. Do you want to handle that, creative director?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I will do that. It's gonna be it'll be cool.
And I'll be in charge of bringing in our next guest for the next board meeting. I think part of my role here for the Durango Lasagna Commission is I would love to get one of our lasagna creators on here. One, to recognize
Jill.
them.
What
Jill.
a goal.
Yeah.
What a goal. Wow, what a good idea.
Let's do a poll to see which one we want the most. Because I can tell you right now, I gotta have Libby on here. I've got to thank her. I've got to have the committee thanking her. She does an outstanding job on her delivery and makes outstanding lasagna.
There it is.
I think we have our action items. Is there anything else that needs to be discussed before we adjourn our meeting?
Write the action items down in the bottom of the spreadsheet and then share that in the through Gmail. That way I can pull it up on my phone.
Make sure to check your Gmail, folks.
If you're not checking, you're probably not getting a lasagna.
I think this goes without saying, but I would implore all of our participants here tonight and all our viewers to sign up and use the Lasagna Love organization and to spread the message of lasagna, the message of love. Because I mean that's what it's all about, right? Like Andrew was saying, it's flavor packed into one another. And the more flavor that we can pack in, the more of these lasagnas that we can taste, the folds of meat and the noodles and the sauce. That's why we're here. To me, that's why we're put on this earth.
course.
All about love.
Man, dude. Amen. I agree 100%, Sam. That's the station in which we live, where
Yeah.
our lives are just one station, but the tracks are all connected. And the love that's packed in between the layers of these lasagnas, they get spread across the tracks and go from station to station. I've certainly been over to Sam's and had a lasagna. Jared, I probably would have come over tonight if I wasn't tired. But what I'm saying is this lasagna love thing really brings like my household together. Me, Carter, Alex, it's like, hey, Libby just popped by, got a hot one, ready to go. And even if we don't eat it all together, we'll at least all warm some up at separate times and then like eventually come together and be like, did you try that lasagna? Oh yeah, Libby killed it again. So we appreciate your work, Rachel. Well, I really appreciate.
So inspired.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Great. Thank you, everyone. All right. Meeting adjourned. I want to talk with you all offline, but great.
Farewell, go in lasagna.